What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Thunder Sports Pod with JT and
The stash, baby. We back at it again.
yes, sir. So, right off rip, let's dive into it. The subject at hand is the transfer portal killing mid-major programs' chances for March Madness now, since a lot of transfers are going to Power Five schools and they're getting their NIL money. No Cinderella teams were left in March Madness, really.
I mean, if you count NC State, I mean, they made it pretty
NC
far.
State, but they were like a heavy favorite going in the tournament because they had a lot of solid players, DJ Burns and company. But what do you think about the whole transfer portal NIL deal
I,
for college basketball?
Money has a lot of power over a lot of people. I think that with the NIL deals, and it's playing a big factor for all these players who you'll play 1 year, then you'll transfer, you go to a
Mm,
different place, makes more money. Don't get me wrong, get your bag, but like when you're looking at the sport from a fan's perspective, you're like, it's hard to root for players who play one season at your favorite school. So I
hmm
have an issue with it. Like, so I root for the team more than I do the players anymore. Uh,
Yeah.
but I get it. Like, you're trying to get your bag. Me personally, I see it's becoming the number one thing in sports, especially college basketball, college football, and the NIL deals are making it. It's kind of like, I don't know. It feels kind of a little tainted, if that makes the best sense. I don't mean that in a super
hmm
negative way, but like as a just from the fans' perspective, you're like, hey, I get it, but like, are you gonna stay? Am I gonna see you on my team next year?
No, I totally get that. I mean, that's a good word. I mean, it taints the product for fans across the nation. I mean, realistically, you don't know if your favorite player is going to be back, if he's going to transfer, if he's going to stay, if he's going to go to the pros. Which I'm all for kids going to the pros and getting their bag. I mean, that's what coaches try to do is set their team up for success in college and getting their kids graduated, and if not going to the pros if they decide if they're good enough. But I do agree. I think NIL and more importantly, the transfer portal is really hurting college basketball because if you look at it, man, Oakland bounced Kentucky. That Kentucky squad was composed of all freshmen, pretty much. So, I mean, it really does help having these older guys, more experience in March Madness when they can knock off a team at any given moment. Um, so having a squad that is really young, it doesn't pay off a lot anymore in this new age of March Madness because it's just craziness. It's honestly my favorite time of the year for the postseason. But I agree with you. I'm not a huge advocate for the transfer portal. NIL, I'm on the fence with. I don't like it as much as some people, um, but I'm still trying to decide where I lean more so. But I don't know. What's your thoughts on regulating NIL? Do you think there needs to be some sort of regulation towards all sorts of money being generated by these collegiate athletes?
Well, it's weird because the NCAA doesn't pay them. That's what keeps them and keeps them away from the title pro athlete, because
Yeah.
they're not getting paid directly by the NCAA, and
Mhm.
that's how they like go around it. I think that regulation maybe, but I don't know. I still don't know if it'll change anything with the regulation, because that's just upfront money. That's still not under the table money. Different things like that.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't. Me personally, I have no idea how we're gonna fix this or make it better or regulate it. I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
it is very complex into a lot of factors that have to go in, because I mean the schools make a ton of money through the NCAA, who's got like the CBS, they got Fox, they got them all the games on everything. There's a lot of like things that has to go into hand. I don't know what they're gonna do at this point.
For sure. I mean, I agree. It's mad chaos is what it is. And ultimately it's going to lead to the downfall of these smaller programs that are not in the Power Five. These not If you're not in the top echelon of college basketball, you're not going to be competing for the Final Four or Elite Eight when it comes down to the end of March because the NIL deals, that's what these kids are chasing. And they're only going to get them at these big programs. So I don't like it. I think the mid-major programs are definitely hurting from this, and we'll have to wait and see what it ends up in, what the results will be. But we'll move on to PGA, the Masters, everybody, starting this week. What's your thoughts on it, and who do you have as a potential winner for your prediction?
So I have a winner for you.
Okay.
I think he will be back to back champ. Don
Same.
Rahm will be
John Rahm,
back
yes,
to
sir.
back green jackets.
Woo! I like it. Spicy take. John Rahm taking the green jacket again.
I mean,
I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all.
last year a double bogey on a hole in one to start, like on hole one last year. He hit a double bogey to
Yeah.
start last year. Then he went in 6 shot deficit going into the final round and still came
Ooh.
back and won.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah,
let's not forget he was PGA Player of the Year in 2021 as well.
exactly. Number one in the world. Rahm has definitely got a lot of momentum going into the Masters, and I could see it. I could definitely see it, but he is not my pick. My pick, everybody. I will give some honorable mentions as well, who I may think may win it. But my pick is Scotty Scheffler himself. Everybody, he is the people's champ. Everybody loves this man. He's an extremely gifted golfer. His putting skills are like none other, and I think he's got a chance to make history. I think he's got a really good shot at winning the Masters and putting on that green jacket. But my honorable mentions, my personal favorite golfer, Rory McIlroy, I think has a really good chance at possibly putting on the green jacket. Last week finished, I believe, top five in the Texas Golf Classic. So he's been playing some good golf in 2024. And some other guys I will mention will be Tiger Woods. Tiger,
Tiger
baby. I think
Woods,
Tiger
no.
Woods has a chance to be on the leaderboard on Sunday. I don't think he'll win the Masters, but I definitely would love to see him on Sunday wearing his red and being up there with the leaders. Just an iconic moment for golf. Ricky Fowler, I believe, could be in the top three leaderboard going into Sunday, possibly as well. But those are my predictions. Those are my guys who I think will be in the leaderboard, and Scheffler coming out on top.
I,
But
I,
we'll have to wait and see,
I think it's gonna
everybody,
be crazy.
because it's going to be ridiculous. Because some of these names we've mentioned might not even make the cut. That's how crazy golf can be.
And I know some people are just like they're looking at John Rahm like oh, he's not gonna be as good this year because he's not playing for like the PGA. He's playing for Live, but like we just haven't seen a whole lot of him. That doesn't mean that he's regressed any.
Exactly. The Live has been gatekeeping some talent. Everybody been stealing some PGA talent, but you got to up the price if you want the best players. So only fair. But we'll go ahead and move on to some NFL talk. Will Caleb Williams live up to the hype in Chicago?
I think that I don't know if he gets it. I don't think he gets it done year one. I think year two. I think he's going to need a year of playing in a pro system, learning how to learning. It is a different game.
Hmm.
I see a lot of good things in Caleb Williams' gameplay. I think he's got an incredible arm. He's very accurate. He doesn't turn the ball over very much. He's got a very quick release. He's got legs, and he can stiff arm if
Yep.
he really needs to. Like that's an
Oh
incredible
yeah.
feature for a quarterback. Look at Josh Allen. Um, and like I watched some of his film. Like he can throw a 65 yarder with accuracy so well.
Hmm.
Uh, I think I think he has to. I think he's not a leader is part of his issue. I think that's the
Mm.
one of the best things like best ways of saying it. I think that's one of his worst things is I do not think he is a leader for like
Hmm.
guys, especially as a I mean he's gonna have to be looking up to other guys in the locker room this season, especially.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna come out and take over the game like CJ Stroud did last year. I think he can win you some football games his first year. I just don't know if he's going to get it absolutely done. Like in the terms of
Mhm.
what are you looking for? Like do you think he throws for 3,000 yards his first year? I do think that. I think he throws for like at least 3,000. He sets the Bears record. I think that he has a good. I don't think he throws a ton of picks, but I don't think he's throwing that many touchdowns at the same time. Even though he's going to have a really good wide receiver room, If he
Mhm.
doesn't, oh well. But I think this year is going to be a very good learning year for him, and I think that he's going to need to I think it's going to be a little bit of a wake up call for his first year.
Mm. I definitely agree with pretty much all what you stated, Stash. I mean, his physical intangibles are extremely, he's just very gifted. And this man is going to be playing football for the Chicago Bears, most likely. I think it's 99% locked up. He's the first overall pick. He has an elite arm with great just scramble ability to move around in the pocket, hit tight window throws like none other, Aaron Rodgers-esque, if you will. So he's got the ability to be a great quarterback in this league, but only time will tell. He does not turn the ball over a lot, so that's a good aspect about Caleb Williams. But the downside I will say about Williams, like you mentioned, is the mental aspect. I wonder if he's going to be able to hold up under pressure in Chicago with these lofty expectations year one. We'll have to wait and see. I truthfully believe he's going to have someone trustworthy in his corner that he can rely on whenever the heat gets turned up.
No, I think you're right. That's what I think. I think that because it's Chicago's what put you picking you using a number one pick for you. You're the first
Yeah.
person taken off the board in a draft. That is it. You're going to get a whole lot of high expectations anyway. If you're a top five pick, you're going to have a lot of expectations.
Yeah.
Even top 10, really, if you really want to think about it, that you're going to have all eyes on you, like you want. You better show. It's kind of deal. It's like Chicago fans are ruthless, so
Oh,
you're gonna have to
100.
get
Look
it
at
done.
Justin Fields. They ran him out of the building. I mean, some of the fans wanted Fields back, but
I
let's
like
be real.
Fields. I like Fields.
Yeah. But let us know down below, everybody. What do you think about the hype surrounding Caleb Williams? Moving on to the next subject at hand. Should there be someone else taking out the number one spot for the Bears?
At this point in time, no. Just take Caleb Williams. It's what you want. It's what you told everyone you wanted. You got it. Caleb Williams is going to be a Bear. If they hadn't traded him, to me, Marvin Harrison Jr. was the best pick. That's who
Hmm.
I thought they should have went with instead of trading Justin Fields because I think that Marvin Harrison Jr. will be a generational talent.
Hmm.
So I think that pair up would have been excellent, but we're not getting that. Uh, no, I just think Caleb Williams is going to be the pick. I don't think anyone is ever. If you still think that they may go with someone else, I just think it's not right. Sorry, it's just who they're doing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it should be anyone else, or will it be? Caleb Williams, number one overall, locked up. So they're going to get their future franchise quarterback from USC. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic, some NBA talk. What's your thoughts on NBA load management with the current playoff situation looming?
Um, I'm not a fan of. I'm just not a fan of load management. I hated it because people were taking games off all the time. It's not what
Mhm.
Kobe did. Just throwing it out there. I understand needing rest, but like they had to do something because it was getting out of control. You're resting so
Mhm.
many people. Like Kawhi, big example. One of my favorite players to ever step foot on the court. Love Kawhi. Man took so much time off. So much.
Yeah.
So I have an issue with him on that aspect. But I like the rules. I know it kind of hurts at the same time. I don't know if we need to shorten the season, expand the season. I don't know. But I like making it so you have to play so many games to get achievements and incentives. I like that
Oh,
part of the rule.
I would agree with you on that. I think the 65, I believe it's 65 game requirement minimum you have to play to receive any sort of NBA accolades. And I'm in agreement with you. You've got to play a good majority of the season to prove to your peers and other players that you're deserving of this. Because it's not fair to the other guys that put in the hard work to play all, if not all, the like 95% of the games during the season. So there's that. But going back to my original thoughts on NBA load management, excuse me, I'm for it big if you're already hurt and you're wanting some extra rest towards the end of the season. If the playoffs are around the corner, you're hurt, but you could play possibly, I'm okay with it. You don't want to re-injure anything. So why not be healthy going into the playoffs? That's kind of what the Thunder are doing with SGA. I know he played last night, kind of getting his legs under him again. Even more recent with Joel Embiid coming back for the 76ers, looking really good, by the way. Over 35 and 10 rebounds. So I think both of those players coming off injuries, getting their legs under them before the playoffs is huge, but more importantly, getting that rest as well.
Get the rest, but like just take less minutes in a game.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know why people don't think about that. Just take less minutes. Like put them in for less minutes.
true. But another big aspect of it is these fans are paying good amount of money to come see these stars, man. Jason Tatum talked about it. He said he takes pride in trying to play every single game each year because he knows the impact he has on the NBA community. And I respect that so much coming from him because little kids, I mean, even adults who work 9 to 5 possibly, they're spending their good, hard-earned money to come and watch you play. And if you sit out because you have a sore throat or you're feeling like you got like an illness, or even if you're just barely sore, that does not cut it for me at all. Play through it. There's a difference between playing hurt and playing injured, everybody.
I agree.
So that is my thoughts.
I'm just
And we
ready
will
for the
move on.
playoffs. I'm just ready for the
Oh
playoffs,
yeah.
baby.
Yes, sir. Playoffs are about here. We'll move on to who was the most dominant player all time in sports, in your opinion? I know we're going to have some different takes, most likely. You can start first.
Wayne Gretzky.
You stole my thunder. All right, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean the fact that he won eight MVPs his rookie year to his 8 year in the league, he's got more points and more assists than anybody else. I mean, he when you
Mhm.
talk about just sheer absolute dominance in a field, and no one's been able to recreate that now.
No.
And like for example, like that's like if Wilt was around doing the stuff he did nowadays. Like, I think that Wayne Gretzky, just comparatively, even to Tom Brady, even to Michael Jordan, I just think that Wayne Gretzky is the most dominant player at his sport ever to do it.
Mm. I'm in agreement with you right there. Wayne Gretzky, everybody, is the most dominant athlete to ever grace the earth. Like you mentioned, in his first 10 seasons, he won MVP nine out of those 10
Oh, my bad.
years.
Nine. Oh, nine. Okay. That's,
Hart trophies. Yeah. He won his first 9 out of 10 MVPs, his most career points out of any player, 2,857. Second place doesn't even crack 1,000. Just put it in perspective, which is ridiculous. He has 3 consecutive 200-point seasons, 50 goals in 39 games, which is ridiculous. And some even just incredible stats from Wayne Gretzky. If people just do your research, I mean, Michael Jordan, some of the greats all time in different respects, sports, Tom Brady and others, Wayne Gretzky is the most dominant athlete ever. And both of our opinions, we respectively agree with each other. So let us know down in the comments. Who do you believe is the most dominant?
it's Wayne. It's Wayne's world.
Wayne the man. But we'll go ahead and move on. So, which NFL player do you have high expectations for this upcoming NFL season?
So I have one, and I have an honorable mention for this.
All right.
So the guy that I am a huge fan of, and I thought he was going to have his breakout year last year, he didn't get to because of injuries, not to
Mhm.
himself, but to his quarterback. I'm taking Garrett Wilson as mine.
Ooh,
I
okay, I like it.
He's finally going to have Rodgers back and not Wilson. I think that this is going to be a great opportunity for him to break out and show what like, he is a top wide receiver in this league. I did have
Mm.
an honorable mention here because I do think he's going to be very good in his new home. I'm taking
Mhm.
DeAndre Swift. Uh,
Ooh,
I think
okay.
that he was like a top five rusher last year, and he had 10 touchdowns stolen from him by the tush push. So
Mm.
like if he would have had the 10 picks, people would be like, oh man, he might be the best back in the league right now. So I think that played a big
Very
factor
true.
for me. So yeah, Garrett Wilson, DeAndre Swift are like my two guys that like I really thought about on this. Rogers is Rogers a Hall of Fame quarterback. Having
Yeah.
him and Garrett Wilson, I think is going to be a I think, and they have a good weapons there now too. I
Oh
think
yeah.
Rogers can be set, especially if they take a tackle in the first round.
100%. I agree with that. I mean, those are some great selections, some big prove it years for those type of guys. So for my selection, do you want to hear the quarterback or the non-quarterback first?
Give me the non-quarterback first.
Okay. So Calvin Ridley for the Tennessee Titans has big, lofty expectations, I feel like, this year. He's going to a team where not a lot of people expect them to make the playoffs, but he needs to prove his worth for the money that he got from the Titans. And he's still a productive wide receiver in my eyes, but he needs to take that next leap to the point where everybody can know that he puts the league on notice. Will Levis can look your way and you can get it. So I think Calvin Ridley is this year's one of the most important, just has to have a good season. And funny enough, it's pretty ironic. The other player I chose was his former quarterback in Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, everybody. He's got a lot to prove this season. I know you're shaking your head there. You don't much like the T Law love, but Lawrence has to prove to me that he's worth the number one overall selection back in the draft when he was selected number one overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars because he's yet to really prove to us that he can uplift this franchise and be their guy that they chose.
He's the shiniest turd in that draft class. That whole draft
The
class of QBs
only
was trash.
the only remaining starting quarterback. And yes, he has Mac Jones in the same class as his backup, everybody. So we'll wait and see. Mac Jones is creeping on T Law's shoulder, but no. I think Trevor Lawrence has a lot to prove this year, and hopefully we'll get some more productive play from Trevor and more consistent if that O line can keep him upright and healthy. But we'll have to wait and see.
Uh, yeah, you definitely.
But
I was not expecting those two.
for sure, those are some big expectations coming from me for those two players. But moving on, we'll go to which player is on the hot seat to perform this upcoming season. So we did expectations last, big expectations, high expectations, but who do you think is on the hot seat? They have to execute.
Derek Carr,
I like it.
Dak.
Mm,
Dak's supposed to get paid after this year. I think how he plays determines his contract very
hmm
heavily. Those two especially.
I love those two picks.
Derek Carr has been with the Saints for a while now. He's not getting anything done. I think they're going to start realizing, like, okay, we need to move on. That's one of I see Michael Penix maybe going to the Saints.
Mm,
That's one of the quarterbacks I could see them getting in the second round if the Raiders don't try to get him. Uh,
yeah.
those are my two picks for the hot seat. I thought about QBs very heavily on this because I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, who else right now is really on the hot seat? Hot seat. But yeah, that's who I'd go with.
I like the Derek Carr pick a lot. I think he's got a lot of pressure on him in New Orleans to succeed this year. He's not been very good in his tenure with the Saints. So for my pick, though, I know last year, this time, maybe even closer to the summer, we picked Russell Wilson. And I'm picking Russell Wilson again. So, in my opinion, he's going to be a big upgrade from Kenny Pickett, but he has to be on the hot seat for me because you know who he has right behind him? Justin Fields, everybody. So, if he starts to play bad, you know Tomlin's going to be thinking, oh, I better put this man, Justin Fields, in to save our offense. So, Russell Wilson, you're aging. You're past the years of your prime, so I feel like you can get some productive play in Pittsburgh, but the real question is, are you going to be able to hold off the youngster in Fields? So you've got a lot of pressure on you.
So I would say on this, I think that Russell will be the bridge quarterback for Fields.
Mm,
I don't know if Fields will start this year. I think Fields will more likely start next year. But those two,
hmm
That's how I see it. I think this gives a chance for Justin to learn under Russell, and I think that he will be. I think Justin Fields will be the future quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, like the starting one.
All right, what's the saying gonna be for Pittsburgh? Because Broncos country, let's ride is dead.
Pittsburgh Nation, let's weld.
Let's weld. Yeah, I like the blue collar approach there. We'll have to think of something for Russell Wilson going into year one with the Steelers. But moving on, we got a little game up, everybody. So guess that player, NFL game edition.
Oh
Are you
man.
ready, Stash?
Oh man. No, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not.
All right, here we go. So this former player was a Wisconsin alum.
Okay.
Round one, pick 11. Last team before he retired was the Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals, pick 11. Which draft? What year?
I'm not giving
Oh
you
no,
that
no
hint.
year. Okay, no year. Okay, so Wisconsin. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of people that came out of
You want
Wisconsin.
me to give you the position?
You give me the position.
Defensive end.
Oh, defensive end out of Wisconsin. Not give me the year. Oh, pick 11. So let's look at last year's.
Retired. He played
Oh, he's
last team
retired.
before he retired was the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh
He
no.
played previous, huh?
Oh no year and ooh okay, and he's retired. Ooh.
Yeah. He was not known for being a star with the team he retired, but the previous team he was with, he was one of the best defensive ends in the league.
I'm trying to think of defensive ends. JJ Watt.
Yes, sir.
Defense.
Ding, 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 ding.
You said defense.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you said defensive end. I was trying to think. I'm like, what year? Arizona
There you
Cardinals.
go.
There, you said like best at like one of the best. I was like, oh, okay, it's JJ.
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, that kind of it off.
I've kind of like excluded the fact that he was a Cardinal like on my vision.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, Houston Texan. That's what he's known for.
I would have loved if he went to the Steelers and played with his brother.
That
Personally,
would have been insane. Comes out of retirement just for 1 year.
oh, I would love it. If you do it this year, they might win the Super Bowl.
Woo! Man, imagine. That'd be ridiculous. Or have his brother TJ force a trade to Houston. Danielle
Oh,
Hunter, Will Anderson, TJ Watt,
and JJ Watt.
and JJ Watt. That would be crazy. That front D line would be bonkers.
That wouldn't even be fair to
All
the
right.
rest of the league.
Transitioning to basketball. Got a little game, MVP edition. Start, bench, cut. Are you ready?
I am. I This one it took me a while. Like I really thought about this. So I just want to throw in. So I looked at a lot of different factors. I
Mm-hmm.
looked at their team record. So like
Mm-hmm.
at the point in this video, or at this time, Mavs are 48-30.
Yeah.
Nuggets are 54-24. OKC is 53-25. So like Nuggets
Mm-hmm.
and Nuggets and Thunder are right there close together.
Yeah.
So like they're pretty close. And I just want to throw this out there for you because I thought this was funny. Like there's 22 teams with worse records than those three teams.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought that was
Wow.
kind of crazy. So and all three of these guys are in the West. So
Yeah.
they're playing the toughest competition, in my opinion. Luca is balling out. Luca's first in
Mm-hmm.
points, second in assists, 16th in rebounds, seventh in steals. He's not ranked in blocks, but here's my one issue with Luca. He's first in turnovers. He's averaging 4 a game.
Wow.
So
That's big.
that's a big factor for me. So I'm like, he's not being that careful with the game, even though he's throwing up
Mm-hmm.
33.9 points a game, basically 34 points. But he's almost averaging a triple double as well.
Yeah.
Then you got Jokic, who is one of my favorite players in the league because he just doesn't look like he tries. He just throws it up and it goes in.
Yeah.
He's 10th in points. He's third in assists. He's fourth in rebounds. He's 17th in steals, which is kind of good for a big man, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He's 12th in blocks, but he's 11th in turnovers. He's got 3 per game.
Yeah.
SGA is Mr. 31 points a game. Like that's his average. dude just throws up 31 every game. You can bet on it.
Wow.
He's third in points, 17th in assists, which kind of bothers me. Being a guard, that bothers me a little bit. He's so far back in assists. That's the only rebounds. He still averages 5.5. He's not ranked in the top 40, but he's a guard at the same point there.
Yeah.
But he's averaging 2.1 assists per game, which is crazy. He's first in it. He's actually 37th in blocks, which is kind of crazy. Uh, but he only averages 2.2 turnovers, which is 36. So he's very careful with the ball. He doesn't get it stolen from him very often. He does pass the ball. He does throw up the points. I went into this, and I was breaking down like who's ranked higher and all the categories and stuff. So it was a 6-5-6 split for me. So like Luka
Oh,
had 6, Jokic had 5, and SGA had 6. So that's how I broke it down. I'm thinking Luka, SGA, Jokic in that order, like off of their stats alone. But I think that personally, I think Luka has the most help,
yeah.
and that Kyrie's been balling.
Who else has he got
That's
though?
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
When I think of Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon for the Nuggets off the top of my head, and then SGA
Yeah.
has Chet and Josh Giddey.
Giddy, yeah.
So I was looking at a lot of different factors for this, but me personally, I would go Luca. I think Luca's the best right now. He's playing the best, even though his turnovers are
Mhm.
kind of high. That's my only complaint. But he's everything else he's balling at. I mean, he's almost averaging a triple double. He's seventh in
Yeah.
steals. Like he's getting to playing defense. I'm gonna go with Luca as my starter. Um,
Hmm.
I want. I think Jokic plays a bigger factor for his team than SGA, even though SGA just
Hmm.
balls out. Don't get me wrong. I think Jokic plays the bigger factor, so I would put Jokic on my bench and then cut SGA. Even though I do think SGA has a better shot at winning MVP this year.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's so close, man. I love the statistical breakdown you gave us there. So was SGA averaging more points per game than Luca?
No, Luca's first in points.
Okay, okay. I love the where you put everybody. I am in agreement. I'm starting Luca, in my opinion. And when it comes down to it, between benching and cutting SGA versus Jokic, I look to more so of who has more help. And like you mentioned, this is a good point. Jokic, if you take him off that team, what would they look like? I don't think they would be very dominant. So I'm looking on the other side of it. How much help does Jokic have? I mean, he's got Jamal Murray and
Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon, exactly. So they've got some good players on that roster. And if you look at it from that OKC squad, they've got Chet Holmgren, Josh Giddey. They've got some young talent, but I do think that Denver has more talent around Jokic. So for that mere fact, I'm going SGA benching and cutting Jokic. But I think it's like extremely, extremely close.
I think this is
That'd
a
be really hard.
really good MVP race, though. I think it is
It
so
is.
close. It's coming down to it needs to end personally at the end of the season. MVP is done. Like
Hmm.
no playoff MVP. That's finals MVP. So
Yeah.
cut it off there. Do your collaboration. Who plays the biggest factor? Because I did think Embiid was going to win it this year until he got hurt. But
Yeah.
now, no, it's so close between these three. And if
It really
Embiid was
is.
healthy, I think MVP Embiid would be the highest. I would probably start him.
I agree. I'm in agreement with you on that for sure.
And I'm a big Jokic guy, so
Yeah. Yeah. All right, moving on. Start bench cut NBA edition 2.0. We got another game here for you. Um, so who are you starting, benching, and cutting between these three players? Curry, Embiid, and Giannis.
okay. Is it this season or is it like all time?
This season alone. This season alone.
This is hard because I personally want to take Embiid number one. So I would start Embiid. I think Embiid was
Mhm.
having a MVP caliber season. I think he was playing great ball. I would take Embiid. I know he got hurt,
Mhm.
but like if we're excluding the injury, I think I've got Embiid. I'm starting. Then it's
Yeah.
between Giannis and Curry. Uh, I mean, technically, I'd probably go Curry because I have a big man in Embiid, so I would probably cut Giannis. But Curry's just a bucket. He's always a bucket. You can never think that he's not gonna. If he shoots a three, you have to expect it to go in, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Um, I'm probably go. I think that sounds so crazy going into this year, but I'd probably say Curry and then Giannis. Even
Mm,
though the Bucks are doing better, but I think the competition's harder in the West. So
yeah.
yeah,
It really is,
I'm
though.
going with
Yeah.
Curry, and then I'm cutting Giannis. I know I'm going to get some hate for that, but sorry.
Well, if you're getting hate, I'm getting hate as well because I've got the exact same order. I've got Embiid at one, Curry at two, and Giannis at three. And Giannis has just gotten hurt against the Celtics the other night, so we'll see his playoff availability and how long he'll be out. I don't think it'll be that significant, but we'll have to wait and see. Embiid, so dominant this year. Before he got hurt, he was on pace to be this year's MVP. Came back post injury, and he's just been as dominant. I mean, he's dropping two or three straight games with 30-point plus. Um, he's a rebound bucket machine. So I'm putting Embiid at one. Curry, like you mentioned, he's a spot up shooter killer. You cannot lose this guy whenever you're trying to find your matchup on defense. And he's still one of the best players in the NBA, regardless of how mediocre this Warriors season has been. I'm putting Steph Curry above Giannis because when it comes down to it, I'm more scared of Curry come playoff time than Giannis because of the experience. And I mean, a three counts more than a two, everybody. I don't know if you know that or not, but
Unfortunately,
yeah. So Steph Curry, his ability to get off a shot anytime he wants scares me more than Giannis's athletic ability.
I agree. Actually, I was just thinking, I'm like, what if they've changed it so every shot's a 2 pointer? Then we could get, then we could get more dunks,
Yeah,
more mid
there we go.
range.
Yeah, we could have an alternate league with that. Alrighty, so moving on to the next topic at hand. Our last game. We've got three straight games. All right, so guess how many All-Stars these NBA stars have had in their career. I'm gonna give you some names, and you give me some guesses. All right,
Okay,
you ready?
yeah, let's do it.
Derrick Rose.
I think when he wasn't hurt. I think three.
Yes, sir. You got it right. Hit it on the head. Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. Devin Booker's still young. I have to take that into consideration. He
Yeah,
has some incredible feats. I'd probably say two.
he is a little bit more than that. He is
He
four.
has four. Really?
Yeah. hmm DeMar DeRozan.
Mar Rose. I got to think back. He's played in the league for a while. He was in Toronto for a
He
long
has.
time.
Yeah.
He's got two.
No, he has a little bit more than that.
Three.
No, he has six.
Wow, I am off on this.
Jimmy Butler.
I have to remember how long these guys have been in the league.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Butler's got to have at least five.
Yep. You hit it on the head with that one. You got two right
Get the two
so far.
Chicago Bulls right.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler. What'd you say?
Five.
My bad. He had six.
We had 6-2. Butler did.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Jimmy Butler has six All-Stars. Um, so you were close enough on that one. We'll give you that one. How many does Jason Tatum have?
I gotta think how long Jason Tatum's been in the league. He's got to be. He's only like 25. I'm gonna say four.
You were really close on that one. He has five.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Man, this is hard actually. I'm trying to because I got to think back to like because some of these guys have been in the league for a hot minute.
Yeah. Steph Curry.
Oh, like 10.
Yep, you hit it on the head with that one. You got two, technically three. I'll give you the Jimmy Butler one. Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Okay, Nuggets he was good. Knicks he was good. Then after that is when he started to fall off. I'm gonna say Carmelo was always good. And he was always a top guy in his position. I'm gonna say 7.
Mm-mm.
No, 5.
No, in
Oh,
that.
okay, okay. 10.
Yep, 10. He's got 10. Melo was a problem in his prime. He was like that. Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade's probably got like 14,
You're really close. Really close.
15,
Mm-mm.
13.
13. Yep. Dwight Howard.
Dwight was a problem. He was one of the best big men for a long time. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. I'm gonna say Dwight. I know he got after. I'm gonna say like 8.
Yep. Right up. You got it. 8. He has 8 All Stars. Luka Doncic.
Luka's still young. But Luka's always been a dog.
Mm.
Dallas hasn't always been super good though. Even when him in there, I'm gonna say I say he's got 5.
Yep. Same as Jason Tatum. He's got 5. How many does Giannis have?
Giannis was really skinny and scrawny when he first came in, so he didn't start off super good.
Yep.
But he's been in the league for a hot minute, and he's been.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say 8.
Yeah, he has 8. Yep, he does. All right. Last but not least, we have your favorite player in the league, LeBron James.
You are my sunshine.
How
But
many does LeBron have?
oh, LeBron. LeBron's been like an all
Yeah.
star every year. I'm gonna say like 21, 20,
Yep.
21.
20. Yeah, 20. So you got Derrick Rose. Did you get DeMar DeRozan? No, you did
No,
not. So you were close on Jimmy Butler. Let's say Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler. You got Tatum, I believe. You got Curry, Carmelo. No, you didn't get Carmelo, did
no,
you?
I was off on Carmelo. I was off on Carmelo.
Dwayne Wade.
Uh,
What'd you get?
I said
You were off on
4.
Wade.
I said 14. He
Yeah,
was 13.
yeah. You got Dwight Howard. You got Luca. You got Giannis and LeBron. So you got like 6 or 7 right. You got like 6 right. I'll give you 6.
That's not too bad. That's not too
That's
bad.
pretty solid, not gonna lie. That's solid.
A lot of it, some of these guys have been in the league for so long that I'm trying to think of
Yeah,
what years they were good, when they're hurt.
exactly. I mean, it's really cool looking back how many All-Star games they made, and Derrick Rose would have had so many more if he wouldn't have got hurt because he was in his prime, man. It was sad to see his career cut short. Mm.